late, and you guys, trying to make the plays down the stretch.
Yeah, credit them. I thought they out-executed us down the stretch. I liked a lot of what we did most of the night to have control of the game. Obviously didn't close it tonight, but I thought we did a lot of good things. I thought we got a lot of feedback in terms of our plan. Didn't think our execution was as clean as it can be, but we'll learn from it. It's a series.
Mark, obviously I know generally you try to foul up three, but is there any part of you that wishes that last sequence went differently, and especially the possession where Jokic is still waiting to check in?
I don't know exactly what possession you're talking about on that one, but I mean, that's usually our deal, is to foul up three and to play that game. I thought we executed the fouls pretty well, got the ball in bounds pretty well. It didn't go our way tonight, but it's worked out well for us in the past. We'll continue to look at it, maybe learn from it, but I didn't think that's why we lost the game.
And with Jokic, it felt like I think he had at least 8 free throws in that fourth quarter. It felt like he's on the fence with the 5th foul, and there are some sequences that maybe swing that game. Like, how difficult is that when you're trying to shift center out the game, Chet to Hart, and try to manage that?
I mean, I thought a lot of the free throws that hurt us in the fourth were like backcourt fouls that were, just sloppy execution on our part that we can learn from and clean up. We had them in the bonus early in the first. They were in the bonus early in the fourth. That hurt us. So again, there's stuff we can learn from, but it wasn't our cleanest game. It was kind of a coin flip type of game. We allowed them to get back in it and make it a possession game. Gordon made a shot, credit him. And we just got to be better.
A couple of things. One, they came back. They got some quick fouls. They didn't have to use the clock. And then two, after SGA hits his free throws, you fouled immediately instead of letting them maybe use some time to get it past half court to use up some time. I guess why foul as soon as they inbound the ball on the other court?
Yeah, so a couple things on that. I did think the backcourt fouls hurt us. And again, we can learn from that. The fouling up three, that's on me. I think given the foul and getting the foul executed is critical. So if, there's something to be learned from that, it's probably giving it too early on my part. But that's not on the players. They're executing what I'm telling them to do.
Mark, you said, you mentioned a few things about how you guys ended up losing this, but you said that the fouling situation down the stretch wasn't why you lost. What would you boil it down to, why you lost this one?
I mean, just overall execution on both ends of the floor. I thought defensive execution, we had a lot of possessions that we can clean up and learn from. The rebounding, we can definitely learn from. They had a lot of offensive rebounds tonight, gave them a lot of second life. And then our execution down the stretch offensively. So, it's lousy that we lost game one. We'd rather be up 1-0 and with stuff to clean up, but that's not how this works. So now we got to go get to work and execute better next game.
What's the challenge of, a game like this where you have a pretty comfortable lead, see it, lost away, losing home court advantage? I mean, just those sorts of things on the mental side of things. What's the challenge of coming from that?
It's the playoffs. We have to embrace it. We have to embrace the struggle of the playoffs. We have to embrace the adversity of the playoffs. The playoffs are a mountain to climb. So it's not going to be easy for anybody. We kind of posted through the first round. It was challenging in the games, but we had control of the series the whole time. But no one just walks their way through a series at this point in the season. So credit Denver. They were the better team tonight. We can learn from it. We need to execute better, but it's a series first of 4.
Joker obviously had another monster night. What did you think of the execution of the defensive game plan against him? And what's your feeling coming out of this about your team's ability to try to contain a guy who's obviously maybe the best player in the league?
Yeah, I mean, 42 is loud, obviously. 10 of those were free throws. He didn't assist the ball tonight the way that he does on average. So, the free throws were problematic, especially the bonus ones, like the one on the cut, the one in the backcourt. Those are tough plays where he's walking the line, getting points on those. But there were plays that we executed well. There were plays that we didn't. I thought in the first half we did a really good job defensively. We held them to 50 points or around there. But, we obviously need to be better. We don't want to give them 42 points.
And you're up 14 with a little bit over 4 left. I mean, the way things went, obviously, before you got to the final game to the fouls game, rather, from 14 to where it became a possession game, what did you think went wrong for you guys?
I mean, anytime you give up a lead like that, it's both ends of the floor. So it's offensive execution. I can do a better job of getting us organized and getting us quality looks. And then down the other end, to Myron's point, I thought some of the fouls that put him on the line without using clock obviously helped him get back into it. So it was both ends. It was everybody. You know, we're all in it together. We need to execute better. I need to coach better. They need to execute the plan better. And we just need to be a better team in game 2.
Yeah, Mark, I think, Coach got his 5th foul on the flagrant with 6.5 minutes left. After that, did you change your offense at all, trying to go at him more, trying to get a 6th foul? And did that lead to any offensive stagnation?
We certainly try to go at them at times, but, you can get teams into like a defensive rhythm if you're like repeatedly at them every single possession. So we try to mix the bag a little bit on that, but it was on our mind for sure. I mean, we're aware of the foul situation, but like I said, we could have been better down the stretch.
The play we're talking about, Jokic not in the game, that came after Shea's dunk. They clearly thought they were going to foul, get him right back in. Shea gets free for the dunk. How tough is it to switch a strategy with no stoppage of play, where you got the dunk, they got no timeouts, they got to just play?
That's what's tough. It's tough to switch the strategy. We've got the guys locked in on fouling up 3 as a philosophy. They executed it. Like I said, anything with the foul up 3 stuff in terms of timing, that's on me. I mean, I'll take full responsibility for that. But, philosophically, that's also what we do.
Did you see anything tonight that would indicate that the long layoff may have affected anything about the outcome of the game?
I don't know. It's hard to say. At the end of the day, I thought, maybe if we started the game like Rusty, I mean, we were 0 for 10 from 3 to start the game, and then we were 7 for 14 after that. So, I thought we found our groove there. And I thought our stuff, really was down the stretch. So I think it was more of an execution thing. It's hard to siphon out, what exactly to attribute that to. But the reality is they out executed us tonight. 7-game series. We need to be the better team in game 2.
First half, Jokic seemed like he was operating a lot inside. You guys were very active in the passing lanes. And second half, it looked like he was more so outside and then trying to back you guys down. What did that do for you guys, the defense, to throw you guys off?
Yeah, I thought, like I said, in the first half, I thought we did a good job on him and their team. We had, we got stops. We were disruptive. I thought we had them a little bit out of rhythm. We were physical. In the second half, they scored, over 35 in both quarters. So, I thought that was a defensive issue in the second half. Obviously, the free throws had something to do with that. But again, we did a lot of good things. Both ends of the floor. It's never as bad as you think it is when you lose by 2, but now we got to get to work and improve our execution. We have to get better as the series goes.
Do you feel like that was more point of attack thing for you guys, or physicality?
With the defense, a little bit of everything. Execution of schemes. The rebounding certainly hurt us in the second half. The free throws hurt us in the second half. It was a mixed bag. We just we need to be a little bit better. We don't have to be perfect, but we have to certainly be better.
This obviously wasn't the outcome that you were looking for, but can you talk about the positive that Caruso brought?
Yeah, he was awesome. He's a gamer. I thought he gave us a great lift in the first half, obviously. And the shot making, he was the one that kind of got the ball rolling down the hill for us there. Did a great job out of halftime. I thought we got control of it there, deciding to start him. And then, he's just so engaged in the game. He knows the plan. He can guard a lot of different guys. He executes. I thought he played great on offense tonight. He played a great game.
Mark, is the stagnation on offense just really hard to turn around once you start having trouble, and really the low percentage shots that J-Dub got off and a couple that Shea got?
Yeah, like the dead ball offense, some of that's coaching. I got to get us in advantageous positions in those situations. And then some of it's just like when we're not getting stops. I mean, the game's all connected. So when we're not getting stops, we're taking the ball out of the basket, or they're shooting free throws. We're coming up against a dead floor every time down the stretch of a game. So a few more stops help us there. We'll evaluate every possession, try to get better. Like I said, it was an execution game down the stretch, and they out-executed us.
Mark, obviously, Chet was very involved in that last sequence. He misses the 2 free throws, and then he tries to defend Gordon on the other end. He hits the game-winning 3. What's sort of your conversation with him after the game and after that sequence?
I mean, I'm not going to smother him right now. I think generally we talk going into the playoffs about the gaps between the games and the ups and downs of a series and the challenges that teams need to overcome to accomplish what they want to accomplish. So we do that proactively for this situation. You know, we know it's not going to be easy. We know the playoffs are challenging. They take teams to the limit. We're no exception to that. So hopefully the guys apply that framework to when they lay on the pillow tonight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and go through the same process that we would go if we won the game by 2.
Anybody else? They can go.
Yep, thanks.